everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin, or Hobbit's Reading List, and today we are going to figure out what I will be reading in November. So in October, I did not finish 2 of my books for my TBR. One of them I DNF'd, and the other one I just didn't get to. So I do have a consequence book this month. But my school reading is actually less in November, so I will be able to read more fun things. Won't that be wonderful? I do appreciate that this semester, September was the heaviest reading month, or at least that's what it felt like, with 5 books total for my classes. October was 4, and November is 2? Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah, that's about right. And then December is 1. So I'm like, I like how that's set up. For anyone who hasn't seen my TBR videos, I play TBR Pursuit, which is based off of Trivial Pursuit, using the Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit board. Each color represents a different genre that I read most frequently, and then the bigger spaces at the end of the spokes represent Miscellaneous. There is a roll again spot which adds a book to my TBR. Generally, I kind of aim for 1 extra book a month, and this month maybe we'll just go nuts. Especially with less school reading, but it also just depends what books I can get into my TBR that I need to read. So as I mentioned, each color represents a different genre. The 6 genres that I read most frequently are romance, LGBT, fantasy, psychology, Jewish, and classics. I always forget one. And I think we don't have any like special themes in November, I feel like. I know it's American Thanksgiving. I'm not really big on American Thanksgiving. Like, it doesn't inspire a lot of like, I'm gonna make all my reading towards that. I'm more of like a winter holiday person, but I don't know. We'll see. If I get a Christmas or Hanukkah book, awesome. If I don't, okay. So we're just gonna go with eclectic. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I did shuffle the cards already. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Okay, so for the first one, I can go in whatever direction I want. I actually want to start with LGBT, because I feel like I haven't gotten nearly enough queer readings lately. So I'm going to go over here. There we go. Okay, and I have odd number pages. For the first book, an LGBT book with an odd number pages, I chose The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also picked up this book because I have to read it for Family Book Club this month. So this is a story about Evelyn Hugo, who is a, I guess, retired actress, and she's ready to give her life story and all the drama that entailed, and she chooses a sort of like nobody journalist to interview her. And I guess they're connected in some sort of way. So I've had this on my list for a while, and so I was really happy when my cousin picked it, because I'm like, oh yay, I have like an actual excuse to pick it up. So that'll be fun. I don't think I mentioned this in my spiel at the beginning. I do 7 rolls. So okay, there's that. 3. So 1, 2, 3 would get me to psychology, or 1, 2, 3, any on the second run. You know, I feel like I never go that direction that much. Mainly because it's so far away, but let's, do I really want to read a psychology book, though? I haven't in a really long time. Fine. Ugh, gross. It's not that they're gross, it's just that it's nonfiction. It's harder for me to get through. It's a one-word title. Okay. For a psychology book with a one-word title, this may be cheating a little bit. But I picked up, ooh, glare, okay. Attachment by Reese. Now, I say it's kind of cheating because, like, attachment is the title, but it also has a rather long subtitle. But this is the title. And it's all about attachment theory and how to help people with attachment trauma. I started reading it last year, but I think I only read like 13 pages. And it's not very long, but it's quite sizable. So I will just be happy to finish it, honestly. 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Psychology. I'm not doing that. 2, 3, 4, 5, which is classics. 2, 3, 4, or any on this first run. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. You know, the word fantasy is in my head, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with fantasy. Okay, it's it's an audiobook, which that makes things very easy, but also I have a lot to choose from. For a fantasy book that is an audiobook, I chose Hidden Huntress by Danielle Jensen. I read the first book in this series in March, I think. I devoured it within like 30 hours. I thought it was really engaging, and so I ordered the second one. It's about, in the first book, a girl named Cecile, I believe, who was kidnapped and taken beneath this like dark mountain, and she discovered that it had a curse on it, and beneath it was a whole civilization of trolls, and she has a part in the destiny of freeing the trolls. The second book picks up where a little bit after the first one ended, so I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, but it does have an audiobook, and the sample that I listened to sounded good, so awesome. For the fourth roll, 1, 2, 3, which is a romance. Alright, I'm just gonna go here. I don't like going through the middle so much because I feel like that's actually, it gives me too many choices. So I'll go with romance and try to get out of the spokes. Okay, so a TBR veteran. So this is a book that I've had for more than a year. A romance, a romance that is a TBR veteran. So this was actually a little bit hard because I don't have, I have a lot of books. Obviously I have a lot of books that I haven't read, but I don't have a lot of books that I haven't read that are romance that I've had for more than a year. It's a very like specific category. So I picked up Emma by Jane Austen. I decided I was just gonna round out my Jane Austen. You know, I read my first Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, I believe last October. So, and this is the last one that I own. I'll have to get the other two that I haven't read. But Emma is about a girl named Emma. I believe there's some matchmaking involved. It's supposed to be pretty lighthearted. I know that Clueless is like based off of it, so it seems like just a good sort of time. The fifth roll. Ooh, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is fantasy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is Jewish. Fantasy or Jewish? Fantasy or Jewish? Jewish. Okay, it's Jewish about the Holocaust. Super fun. For a Jewish book about the Holocaust, surprisingly, I don't have that many. I'm kind of shocked. So my options were a little limited, and I picked up Night. The reason I'm making this face is because this is probably not the best time of year for me to read it. I have a really hard time with heavy emotions and depression in the fall and winter. This is not going to help, but it's an important book that I haven't read yet. And it's about the author's time in the concentration camp during World War II. So, and for our 6th book, 3, 1, 2, 3, which would be Miscellaneous, 1, 2, 3, which would be LGBT. We haven't gotten Miscellaneous yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Published or set after 2020. Okay. For a Miscellaneous book that was published or set after 2020, this one was also very hard because I started to realize that the books that I need to read for class were not going to fit into my prompts. So that was disappointing. So I picked up a book that was recommended to me, and it is Two Tribes by Elie Bowen Cohen, or I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, but it's a graphic novel, which is awesome, about a girl who is Native American, but her stepfather? No, maybe. Either her mother or her stepfather. I think her mother is Jewish, and her birth father is Native American. And so this is about her trying to figure out, get to know those different aspects of herself and how to balance them. So I thought it was really cool, and it was recommended to me, and it'll be a fairly quick read. So, and for our probably last roll, 3. 1, 2, 3, which would be Jewish. 1, 2, 3, which would be LGBT, and 1, 2, 3, which would be Jewish. Let's go ahead and do LGBT. Ooh, okay. A book with a holiday. Excellent. And then for LGBT book with a holiday, I picked up Mr. Jingle Bells by Leta Blake. This is apparently a 3rd in the series, but I don't believe that you need to read the first 2. I don't think they're actually, like, super connected. And it is an opposites attract as frosty business partners become fake boyfriends in this Christmas gay romance. That is hitting so many tropes that I love. And there's a dog. Oh, 2 dogs. So that's exciting too. Yeah, I don't know anything about it besides what I just read. But honestly, it sounds great. I'm expecting a gay Hallmark movie. That's honestly, and it sounds perfect. So those are the 7 books that I got in the TBR game. As I mentioned, my 2 books that I have to read for class were not in them. They didn't fit any of the prompts. But, so I have that, and because I didn't finish 2 books from last month, I also have a consequence book. So despite only having 7 rolls, I have 10 books on my TBR. That math is great. For class, I need to read Angels in America by Tony Kushner. From what I know, this is a play about the AIDS epidemic, as well as there's like some religion in there, there's some society in there, there's the AIDS epidemic in there. That's what I know about it. It's supposed to be really amazing though. I guess the play has been put on for over 25 years in like 26 different countries and counting, and so it's supposed to be really great, and I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I'll be very interested to see how I like it. At the end of November, I need to read The Yiddish Policeman's Union by Michael Chabon? Don't know how you pronounce his last name. I've read this author before. I read, was it The Secret Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, I believe? Which I enjoyed. I just felt like it was very long. But I know this is about sort of an alternate reality where after World War II, Israel wasn't founded, essentially. And so there was a population, a Jewish population in Alaska that was set up. But I guess after 60 years, the Alaskan government was going to take it back over. And in the midst of this impending reversal, there's a murder that the main character has to solve. So it sounds really interesting. I know it was recommended to me by a lot of my Temple friends. So, and I picked it as the next Temple book club book because I run that, and this was just very convenient. So we'll see how I like this one. And then finally, my consequence book is Amphigorey by Edward Gorey. I have no idea what this is about. I know that there's art. It's essentially a graphic novel, but I don't think it's actually a graphic novel. I have no idea what it's about. I will be very interested. So those are my 10 books that I'll be reading in November. I somehow always do this to myself. And I'm very excited. I like that 2 of them are graphic novels, so I don't feel a ton of pressure. But yeah, I think it'll be a very exciting and eclectic month, and I can't wait to get started. So like this video, leave a comment if you have read any of these books or want to read any of these books, and then make sure you click the subscribe button and click notification bell so that you get notified every time that I upload a video. I do weekly vlogs so that you can see my reactions to the books that I'm reading in real time. Other than that, I will check you guys in the next one. Bye!